Bonjour, dans cette vidéo, on va parler des verbes RE. So in this video, we're talking about RE verbs. These are what we consider regular verbs in French that always end with an R and an E. And then we conjugate them in a particular pattern. And so that's what we're going to study. So here are some examples of RE verbs that you find in French. Vendre, attendre, descendre, entendre, rendre, rendre visite à, which we will talk a little bit more about that one later, répondre à, and perdre. Notice that rendre visite à and répondre à have that preposition à afterwards. It's important to remember that. So how do we conjugate RE verbs in French? Well, let's take one, vendre, which means to sell, and we're going to conjugate it. Now, if you keep the same pattern, and you're studying of verbs, it makes it a little bit easier to follow the pattern. So if we put it in the order of je, tu, il, elle, on, nous, vous, il, and elle, then we can simply study the pattern. So with je, we have je vends. And then we have tu vends, il, elle, on, vend. Right? They all three sound the same, but they are not all spelled the same. So notice we have S, and then nothing at the end with il, elle, and on. Right? So that's the pattern, S, nothing. Then we come over to nous vendons, vous vendez, il, elle, vendent. Right? So now we have nous, we're going to have ONS, EZ, ENT. Notice as well with il and elle pluriel, vendent, you're going to hear the E. Whereas with il, right, just he or she, we're going to hear il vend, elle vend, ils vendent, elles vendent. So, let's look at des exemples. Nous rendons des livres à la bibliothèque. So I have my verb, rendre. I took off my RE. I noticed that the subject said nous, so I'm going to add ONS, nous rendons. Mon frère attend le bus pour aller faire des courses. So mon frère, right, my brother, that is a he, so I'm going to use il. And I noticed my pattern was SS, nothing when I got to il. So I'm going to take off my RE and I don't have to add anything else to my verb. Then we have vous. Vous descendez au sous-sol. So descendre, took off the RE, and my subject is vous, so I know that it's ONS, EZ. So my vous is going to add EZ. With tu perds trop de temps. So perdre, we have S, right? Because our pattern is SS. So when we get to tu, to the U, singular, we're just going to simply add S. Mes copains entendent à la radio une publicité pour un concert. So we have entendre, where I took off the RE. Mes copains, right? My friends, is going to be a they. So we want the ending ENT after I took off the RE. And finally, I have je réponds à beaucoup de coups de téléphone. So répondre, I took off my RE, and then I'm going to add S with je. So as you can see, they follow a pattern. You take off the RE. If you can remember the pattern SS nothing, ONS, EZ, ENT, that will help you to quickly be able to know the endings to these regular verbs, right? This is different than like the other verb we are studying, faire, which is irregular. One thing to note here is the difference between rendre visite à and visiter. So rendre visite à, one of our RE verbs, is talking about when we're visiting a person. So for example, je rends visite à mon ami. So we have the verb rendre, taking off my RE, changing it to agree with je, so I have my S. Visite does not change. Then I have my preposition à that goes with that. And then I'm saying who I'm visiting, mon ami. But in French, there's also the verb visiter, right? It's an ER verb. But this one's slightly different. Look at it. Les touristes visitent les monuments de Paris. So the tourists are visiting, right? But what are they visiting? Les monuments. They're visiting monuments, not people, right? So for a place or things, we're going to visiter. So with visiter, right, you take off the ER, and with the they, we're going to add ENT, right? That's part of that pattern for ER verbs. So just a note, difference between if you're visiting a person or if you're visiting a place. Let me know if you have any questions. Merci. Au revoir.